everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to learn about a new science topic, which is the properties of prokaryotic plants and animal cells. But before that, I want you to meet our special guest for today's lecture. Let us all welcome Miss K! Thanks, Cole. So, are you ready to dive into the world of cells? Right on! In today's discussion, we are going to tackle and describe the differences of bacterial colonies, algal colonies, plant tissues, and animal tissues. First off, let's start with the bacterial cells. These cells are under the kingdom classification Monera, and its average size is 5.0 micrometers. The organelles present in this cell are flagella, pili, capsules, which includes slime layers and glycocalyx, cell wall, ribosomes, inclusions, chromosome, plasmid, nucleoid, cytoplasm, mucilage, mesosome, polyribosome, glycogen, lipid globule, and cytoplasmic membrane. This cytoplasmic membrane is composed roughly equal portions of lipids and proteins. The main lipid components are phospholipids, which vary in acyl chain length, saturation, and branching, and carry head groups that vary in size and charge. Bacterial ribosomes are around 20 nanometers in diameter and are composed of 65% rRNA and 35% ribosomal proteins. This cell's genetic material is located in a region called the nucleoid, where DNA exists as a compact circular chromosome. Cellular respiration is an energy-generating process. Thus, energy production occurs in the plasma membrane of the bacteria. Bacteria reproduce by binary fission. In this process, the bacterium, which is a single cell, divides into two identical daughter cells. Each daughter cell is a clone of the parent cell. Bacteria can be classified by shape into several groups, three of which are cocci, which are spherical bacteria, bacilli, rod-shaped bacteria, and spirilla, which are corkscrew-shaped bacteria. The function of bacterial cell in the digestive system break down the nutrients, such as complex sugars, into forms the body can use. Non-hazardous bacteria also help prevent diseases by occupying places that the pathogenic or disease-causing bacteria want to attach to. Some bacteria protect us from disease by attacking the pathogens. Now, let's proceed to the second type of cell, which is the algal cell. This is under the kingdom classification Protista. All algae were smaller than 10 micrometers in size. The sea algae were almost uniformly at 2 micrometers in size. Now, let's enumerate its organelles. In most algal cells, there is only a single nucleus, although some cells are multinucleate. The organelles are nucleus, apical papilla, volutin granule, pyrenoid, photosynthetic lamellae, gelatinous sheath, nucleolus, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, cell membrane, cell wall, chloroplast, flagellum, mitochondrion, starch plates, contractile vacuole, cytoplasm, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum, ice pot, and nuclear envelope. In all algae, the two membranes that surround the nucleus are referred to as the nuclear envelope. Major lipids of plants, such as the glycosyl glycerides and the usual phosphoglycerides. Eukaryotic ribosomes are between 25 to 30 nanometers in diameter with an rRNA to protein ratio that is close to 1. The nucleus contains most of the genetic material, or deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA, of the cell. In most algae, the molecules of DNA exist as linear strands that are condensed into obvious chromosomes. Only at that time of nuclear division or mitosis. Energy production process takes place in chloroplasts, the cellular powerhouses that make sugars and give leaves and algae their green color. Algae regenerate by sexual reproduction, involving male and female gametes or sex cells, and by asexual reproduction or both ways. These are the types of algal cells: Euglenophyta, which are the euglenoids; Chrysophyta, golden brown algae and diatoms; Pyrophyta, fire algae; Chlorophyta, green algae; Rhodophyta, red algae; Phaeophyta, brown algae; Xanthophyta, yellow-green algae. All algae contain chlorophyll, but most lack leaves, roots, vascular tissue, and stems. They play a vital role in aquatic ecosystems by forming the energy base of the food web for all aquatic organisms. As autotrophic organisms, algae convert water and carbon dioxide to sugar through the process of photosynthesis. Onion cells are under the kingdom Plantae. The average size of this cell is 250 micrometers. In an onion peel cell, the cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm, vacuole, and onion cells can be seen. But deep inside the onion cells are these organelles: mitochondrion, nucleus, nucleolus, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, cell membrane, cell wall, starch vacuole, cytoplasm, smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. The cell membrane is covered by another thick covering called the cell wall. The central dense round body in the center is called the nucleus. The jelly-like substance membrane is called the cytoplasm. Eukaryotic ribosomes are between 25 and 30 nanometers in diameter. The primary genetic material of the plant is contained within the cytoplasm of the plant cell, which is the nucleus. The means of reproduction of onion cells is through budding. Onion plants can be grown from seeds or from bulbs. The process of growing onions from bulb is known as vegetative propagation, a form of asexual reproduction in which the new plant grows from a fragment of the parent plant. Chlorophyll and chloroplasts are responsible for photosynthesis and are therefore only present in the leafy part of the onion, which is above the ground, and absent in the bulb, which is below the ground. So it is where their energy is produced. Onions are used because they have large cells that are easily visible under a microscope, and the preparation of a thin section is very straightforward. Alas, Here we are in the last type of our cell for today, the squamous cells. These cells are under the kingdom Animalia. The average size of this cell is 25 micrometers. Squamous cells have the following organelles: nucleus, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, lysosome, vacuole, mitochondria, cytosol, cell membrane, vesicle, nucleolus, nuclear membrane, Golgi apparatus, centrioles, and cytoskeleton. The epithelial membrane is composed of epithelium attached to a layer of connective tissue. For example, your skin. The mucous membrane is also a composite of connective and epithelial tissues. Eukaryotic ribosomes are between 25 to 30 nanometers. All extant eukaryotes have cells with nuclei. Most of a eukaryotic cell's genetic material is contained within the nucleus. The location of energy production is in the mitochondria, which is, as we all know, the powerhouse of the cell. The means of reproduction is mitosis, cell division, which is a way for multicellular organisms to control the topology or the number of adjacent cells and geometry, the cell shapes and sizes of their tissues. Simple squamous epithelia cell is under the epithelial cells or tissues, and some of its fellow members are simple cuboidal epithelia, simple columnar epithelia, stratified squamous epithelia, stratified cuboidal epithelia, and stratified columnar epithelia. Squamous cells' location is in the blood and lymphatic cells, air sacs of lungs, and the lining of the heart. The function of these cells are for protection for the underlying tissues from radiation, desiccation, toxins, and physical trauma. These allow diffusion and filtration, absorption of substances in the digestive tract lining with distinct modifications, regulation and excretion of chemicals between the underlying tissues and the body cavity, and secrete lubricating substance as well as hormones into the blood vascular system. The secretion of sweat, mucose, enzymes, and other products that are delivered by ducts come from the glandular epithelium. So, these are the four cells: bacterial, algal, onion, and squamous cells. And here are their pictures in scanning electron micrograph and transmission electron micrograph. We really did have a closer look on those cells. Now, in relation to Miss K's discussion, I created a summary table of the differences of the three cells, which are the animal cells, the plant cells, and the prokaryotic cells. As you can see in this table, the first column is the animal cells, followed by the plant cells, and in the last column, we have the prokaryotic cells. Take note that both the animal and plant cells are eukaryotic cells. Let us first tackle their similarities. All three of these cells have cell membranes, ribosomes, and cytoskeletons. Now, let's discuss their differences. Only the animal and plant cells have nuclear membrane. In the animal cells, they have no cell wall, While in the plant cells, cell wall is made of cellulose. And in the prokaryotic cells, cell wall is made of peptidoglycan. Both the animal and plant cells have multiple chromosomes in their DNA, while the prokaryotic cells, DNA is a single circular ring. Animal cells have small vacuoles, while plant cells have really big vacuole. And in the prokaryotic cells, they have no vacuoles. Both the animal and plant cells have lysosomes, and nothing in the prokaryotic cells. Only the animal cells have centrioles, and the rest they don't have. Now, let's talk about their sizes. Plant cells are small. Animal cells are smaller. And the prokaryotic cells are the smallest. So, this is the summary table of the 3 cells. I hope you enjoyed our lecture for today with me and Miss K. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Thank you so much and have a great day!